Pavakanah Saraswati. Namaste. Welcome to the international seminar on the life and work of Rajaratna Shreshthi Shri Nanjibhai Kalidas Mehta, our dear Pujya Pitaji. Now, I would like to invite Miss Aditi Dave to join me in reciting Saraswati Vandana.
Dendu tushar har dhawala ya shubhra vastravrita ya veena varadanda mandita kara ya shveta padmasana या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिर्भिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thank you, Aditi. Gita Didi ji and Pujya Kul Bhrata Shri Dhirendra Bhai ji. Honorable Mr. Mahendra Bhai Mehta, our Kul Bhrata Shri and the chairman of Arya Kanya Vidyalaya Trust. Honorable Medhavini Bhabhi ji, Honorable Sunaina Bhabhi ji, though they are not here, but I would like to remember them because their blessings are always with us. Respected Jai Mehta sir, our honorable trustee and the chief guest of this seminar. Respected Juhi madam, chairperson of the managing committee, Arya Kanya Vidyalaya Trust. Venerable members of the trust, respected Uma Mehta madam, respected Kamalakshi Mehta madam, respected Hemnab Bhai. Distinguished Mr. Ashok Sharma sir, Honorable District Collector and President of the inaugural ceremony of this international seminar. Guests of honor, Dr. Niranjan Rajaguruji, Shri Shri 1008 Mahamandaleshwar Brahmarishi Gopal Bhushan Saraswat Sahitya Ratna Rajkot Saurashtra. Dr. Bhadrayu Vachrajani sir, lifelong teacher and Vice Chancellor, Lok Bharti University for Rural Innovation, Sanosra, Bhavnagar, Gujarat. Invited university professors, scholarly resource persons, respected Suresh Bhai Kothari, Honorary Secretary, Arya Kanya Vidyalaya Trust. Honorable College Principal, Dr. Anupam Nagar sir, Vice Principal, Professor Rohini Ba Jadeja Madam, Dr. Shanti Modhwaria Madam, the coordinator of the international seminar on Rajaratna Shreshthi Shri Nanjibhai Kalidas Mehta. School principals, Dr. Ranjana Majithia and Miss Vandana Sharma. Principals of colleges, professors, teachers, enthusiastic participants, people from press and media, Gurukul school and college alumni, and dear students. Today is a historical day as we are paying an academic tribute to our dear Bapuji on his 136th birth anniversary. Let us commence the inaugural session with Ved Mantra Gan by the students of Gurukul Mahila Arts and Commerce College. Ved Mantra Gan.
शुक्लयजुर्वेद अध्याय 20 का सरस्वती सूक्तम हरि ओम छग्नं दधे सरस्वती महो अणः सरस्वती प्रचेतयति केतुना धियो विश्वा विराजति कवख्यो न व्यचस्वति रश्मिन्व्यानदूरो दिशः इन्द्रो नरोदसी उभे दुहे कामन् सरस्वती ॐ भूरभुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। हे प्राण पवित्रता और आनंद के देने वाले प्रभु, आप सर्वज्ञ और सर्व जगत के उत्पादक हैं। हम सब आपके शुद्ध वर्ण्य और पवित्र तेज का ध्यान धरते हैं, जो हमारी बुद्धि को सदा सन्मान कर प्रेरित करे। ओम शांति ही शांति ही शांति ही। ओम।
Thank you very much, Bapuji and Pujya Santokba, to deliver the welcome address. Please, madam.
नमस्ते सबने। श्री अशोक शर्मा जी, श्री भद्रायु वत्सजानी, श्री निरंजन राजगुरु जी, डॉक्टर नागर, Shri Suresh Bhai, my fellow trustees, the principals, the co-chairpersons of this gathering, the teachers, all our distinguished guests, and મારી વાલી વાલી દીકરીઓ. મને ક્ષમા કરજો કે હું આજે ઇંગ્લિશમાં બોલવાની છું, કારણ કે તમારું જેટલું સારું ગુજરાતી નથી મારું. As we have gathered here today to celebrate Pujya Bapuji, we are grateful to Gurukul Mahila Arts and Commerce College under the leadership of Dr. Nagar for having taken this initiative to pay a tribute to his life and his work. His vision, his determination, and his moral precepts are visible to us in every institution he endowed and every business that he started. But perhaps nowhere is this more apparent than in his creation of Gurukul. The concept of the Gurukul system has been prevalent in India for thousands of years. We hear about it in the Upanishads. We know that it was always created as a holistic system. It was not just about the academic learning, it was about the creation of the person. It was an all-encompassing system where learning was accompanied by moral, physical, and spiritual growth. And there was a system of equality. Regardless of social status, shishyas, the students, were treated equally. Pujya Bapuji had a vision for this many, many years ago for the girls of Saurashtra. He was way ahead of his time. He was far-thinking. He wanted girls to have opportunities to grow as individuals, to become the stewards of our culture. And that is what he did with Gurukul. As we embark on the National Education Policy of 2020, it is wonderful to think that we have already implemented all this in Gurukul, this holistic aspect of learning, where each individual has the chance to develop her full potential. I thank Pujya Bapuji for this wonderful legacy that he has left us. And I thank all the elders of the Mehta family for giving so much and continuing his work with such dedication and such love. And I'd like to thank Dr. Nagar for this wonderful initiative and for inviting us all to once again look at Bapuji's journey, understand his values, and learn from them. Thank you very much, and I wish every success to this seminar.
Thank you very much, Kamalakshi Madam, for your words of encouragement. And you are absolutely right, because we now know NAP 2020, but we already know that our Bapuji did everything years back. Thank you so much. We would now like to request the President of the inaugural ceremony, Chief Guest, and all dignitaries on days to please come forward and enkindle the lamp of knowledge. Please. Deep Jyoti Para Brahma Deep Jyoti Janardana Deepo Hartu Me Papam Deep Jyoti Namostute Deep Jyotir Namostute Deep Jyotir Namostute Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhana Sampadah Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepa Jyoti Namostute Deepa Jyoti Namostute Deepa Jyoti Namostute Deepa Jyoti Para Brahma Deepa Jyoti Janardana Deepo Hartu Me Papam Deepa Jyotir Namostute Deepa Jyotir Namostute Deepa Jyotir Namostute.
Namaste. Invoking the divine consciousness of Pujya Bapuji, Pujya Didima, Pujya Kul Bhratashri, I welcome all of you to the Ari Kanya Gurukul group of institutions. This temple of learning was created in the year 1936 by Rajratna Sheshti Shri Nanjibhai Kalidas Mehta. As we commence our academic and cultural one-day tribute to the man of the millennium, the life throb of the century on his 136th birth anniversary, it would be most appropriate to envision the vision that flows through the life and work of Pujya Bapuji. All the distinguished trustees of the Ari Kanya Vidyalaya Trust, Honorable Chairperson J. Madam, Honorable Trustee Jai Sir, respected Uma Madam, respected Kamal Madam, respected Himna Bhai Khatau, Honorary Secretary Sir, Suresh Bhai Kothari Sir, most respected and revered Collector of Porbandar District, Shri Ashok Sharma Sir, who calls himself a teacher at heart, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Lok Bharati, University of Rural Innovation, Sanusra, Dr. Bhadrayubhai Vachrajani Sir, Venerable Swami Niranjan Rajaguruji, our brilliant team of chairpersons and co-chairpersons, Dr. Mehboob Desai, Gujarat Vidyapith, Ahmedabad, Professor Ravi Jhala Sir, Saurashtra University, Rajkot. Retired Principal and Professor Dilip Singh Asharji from Jamnagar. Dr. Mihir Dave, Marwari University, Rajkot. Principal Dr. Naugan Uredra from Kutiana. Principal Dr. Kamlesh Budbati sir from Government Arts College, Ranawab. Madam Aruna Kanabar, who is an eminent alumni from Leicester, United Kingdom. Madam Beverly Swan, eminent educationist, Scotland, United Kingdom. They will be joining us virtually in the afternoon in the online Zoom session. Lata Surendra Madam and her team from Mumbai, who would be also joining us in the afternoon. Distinguished guests, invitees, professors of Gurukul Mahila Arts and Commerce College, teachers of Arya Kanya Gurukul, Gujarati and English medium, eminent teachers and student delegates and friends. In an environment where going to school is the norm, our students go to a Gurukul where various facets of the National Education Policy 2020 have been in force since the last many decades. Be it integrated learning, learning by doing, skill development, Pujya Bapuji had envisioned a Gurukul that would be matchless in producing the right blend of citizens for the country. The Arya Kanyas would be ideal homemakers and would still be addressing the world in fluent English. They would have assimilated the best of both the Indian systems of education and the Western educational practices. Gurukul Mahila Arts and Commerce College stands tall at 56 years and has had the unique distinction to have not only volunteered for NAC assessment and accreditation, but it has successfully organized, among others, as many as 3 international conferences in just a span of 5 years, giving the students sufficient exposure to research and allied activities. The institution today has as many as 7 graduate courses in English, Hindi, Gujarati, Home Science, Economics, Commerce, Gujarati medium, Commerce, English medium, 6 courses at our Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University Center for Girls, 5 National Skill Qualification Framework skill-based courses, 2 postgraduate centers, Shri Dhirendra Bhai Mehta Postgraduate Center of English and Srimati Medhavini Mehta Postgraduate Center of Commerce, along with the activities of Saptadhara and the Study Circle for Improvement of Subject Knowledge. It is, distinguished peoples on the day, guests on the days and in front, that I would want to refer to a very important para that we have in Pujya Bapuji's autobiography on page 208. Quote, "It is the duty of Aryan women to preserve, defend and contribute to their rich culture. That has been my faith in setting up this institution. I have made it a point to see that they all get all-round education so that no part of their personality remained lopsided. It is a matter of great spiritual satisfaction to me that I have been able by God's grace to provide for them necessary opportunities. They have only to go there and spend the best period of their life at the Gurukul. Though Saurashtra possesses many such institutions apart from this one, it needs a women's university on the lines of the one which Maharshi Karve founded at Pune. I have a long cherished desire to establish such a university in Saurashtra, and with that idea in mind, I made monetary provision, as said earlier, for the Mahila College, which might ultimately give birth to such a university." Honorable guests and dignitaries, it would be our good fortune to understand Pujya Bapuji, who was one of the most distinguished sons of Mother India through his life and works. Pujya Bapuji was particularly interested in the educational and social uplift of women. He firmly believed that it is only an educated mother who can raise an enlightened and cultural family and thereby contribute to the moral enrichment of the society. Let us relive a few outstanding moments in Pujya Bapuji's life and afterlife. the half-mast flag when Uganda was mourning the loss of Pujya Bapuji. Stopping a bombardment at Rangoon by the Japanese forces till Pujya Bapuji was escorted out of Burma. Playing host to Mahatma Gandhi for over 2 months at Panchgani. Setting sail for Africa at the tender age of 13 and starting business within 1 year after his apprenticeship with an Arab trader. Establishment of 29, a chain of gineries, establishment of a sugar factory, tea gardens, coffee estates, and sugarcane plantations. Pujya Bapuji's admiration of the Japanese for their hard work, dedication, integrity, honesty, and above all, nationalism. Establishment of a number of institutions in various parts of Uganda and Kenya. 46 trips between India and Africa at a time when sea voyage was fraught with danger. Felicitated employment opportunities for over 1 lakh Indians in Africa. Imbibed Mahatma Gandhi's doctrine of trusteeship and implemented it to the letter. Understood religion, encouraged intercaste marriages, discarded the dowry system, did not believe in untouchability, provided drinking water wells in various parts of Saurashtra, believed that an educated girl does credit to 2 families, her parents and her husbands, reached the unfrequented corners of Uganda and changed the face of its truthful and bountiful earth, traveled as a globe trotter, United Kingdom, Europe, parts of Asia and Japan, along with frequenting the furthest corners of India, did not believe in narrow nationalism or racial discrimination. Pujya Bapuji's educational vision manifested itself as Arya Kanya Gurukul. His technical vision found manifestation in the form of Tara Mandir, the Jawaharlal Nehru Planetarium. Bapuji's cultural vision found a unique edifice in the form of Bharat Mandir. Pujya Bapuji's national vision found expression in the form of Kirti Mandir. Distinguished gentlemen and ladies, today over 250 delegates from Gujarat and abroad will discuss the life and work of Pujya Bapuji and make sincere efforts to rethink and recontextualize some of Pujya Bapuji's thoughts and ideas on economics, commerce, literature, Arya Samaj, spirituality, philanthropy, among others. I think it would be most appropriate to sum up the essence, the quintessence of Bapuji in these lines. हम अपना जीवन अंकित कर, हम अपना जीवन अंकित कर अर्पित कर चुके हैं शिक्षा के राजमार्ग पर। जिसके जी में आए पढ़ ले, जिसके जी में आए पढ़ ले, पल भर थम कर आते जाते, हम कब अपनी बात छिपाते। I extend a very, very warm welcome to all the dignitaries, men of excellence, scholars, delegates, teachers and students to this inaugural session of the one-day international seminar on the life and work of Pujya Bapuji. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.
Very much, Dr. Nagar sir. In keeping with our illustrious tradition, we would like to pay our respects to the eminent and scholarly dignitaries with Sutumala, Charkha, shawl and the memoir of Pujya Bapuji. I would like to say, and rather, I would like to request Honorable Jai Mehta sir, our trustee and the chief guest of this seminar, to please welcome and felicitate our respected Ashok Sharma sir, Porbandar district collector, with Suutmala, Charkha, shawl and Pujya Bapuji's memoir. request Mr. Suresh Kothari sir, Honorary Secretary of the Trust, to please welcome and felicitate respected Jai Mehta sir with a Sutmala, Charkha, shawl and Pujya Bapuji's memoir. Chairperson of the Managing Committee, Arya Kanya Vidyalaya Trust, to welcome and felicitate our guests of honor, Shri Shri 1008 Niranjan Rajya Guruji with a Sutmala, Charkha, shawl and Pujya Bapuji's memoir. Dr. Niranjan Rajya Guruji is a renowned folk and devotional singer, eminent poet, critic, editor and columnist. I would most humbly request Honorable Uma Madam, a member of the Trust, to please welcome and felicitate our guest of honor, Dr. Bhadrayu Vachrajani sir, who is an inspirational speaker, famous writer, lifelong teacher and bold educationist with a Sutmala, Charkha, shawl and Pujya Bapuji's memoir. Vachrajani sir and Uma madam. I would like to request Dr. Naga sir to welcome Honorable Juhi madam with a Sutmala. And sir, now I request Professor Rohiniba Jadeja madam to welcome Honorable Uma madam with a Sutmala. Thank you very much, Uma madam and Rohiniba. Now I request Dr. Shanti Modhwadia madam to welcome Honorable Hemnab Khatau sir, a member of the Trust, with a Sutmala. Thank you very much, sir and madam. Mahila, to welcome and felicitate Honorable and dear Kamalakshi Madam with Sutumala, Charkha, Shawl and Pujya Bapuji's memoir. Please, Shobna Ben. Actually, she is reminded of so many nostalgic moments when Kamalakshi Madam was very young, and we both have seen Kamalakshi Madam at Swastik Bhavan as well as in Gurukul ground. So I would also like to join Shobna Madam. When we become very much nostalgic of the past. Now I request Dr. Sharmishtha Patel to welcome Mr. Suresh Kothari sir with a Sutumala. Sir, please.
College. Thank you.
Very much, sir and madam. I now also request all the student volunteers to welcome and pay respects to all our dignitaries, chairpersons, co-chairpersons and scholars seated in front of the dais. Please. Yes, Ranjan madam, Vandana madam. Co-chairpersons, scholars, invited dignitaries and IQAC members. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we all at Gurukul Mahila College have been working on the international seminar for almost more than 2 years now. All the blessings, messages, abstracts by teachers and students have been compiled in the souvenir. May I now request all dignitaries on the days to release the souvenir on this auspicious occasion. Please. Thank you very much, all the dignitaries and scholars on the days. It is now time to bathe into the glory of Pujya Bapuji, as there could be no one else who could justify the life and work of Pujya Bapuji than the illustrious grandson of Pujya Bapuji and Pujya Santokba and the son of respected Mahendra Bhai and respected Sunaina Bhabiji, the living legend of the Mehta group of companies, the miracle man himself, respected Jai Mehta sir. May I most humbly request sir to deliver the keynote address.
Namaste. Sri Ashok Sharma ji, Honorable Collector of Porbandar District, Sri Niranjan Rajaguru ji, our Honorable Guest of Honor, Professor Vajrajani, Namaste, Dr. Nagar, fellow trustees, Suresh Bhai, teachers and students, and delegates from various parts of Gujarat. When Dr. Nagar suggested that I give a keynote address on the life and work of my grandfather, Rajratna Sri Nanchi Kalidas Mehta, I decided to reacquaint myself with his autobiography, as I had never had the opportunity to know him well. Pujya Bapuji, as we all affectionately called him, did not attend school beyond the 4th grade. He joined his father's business and learned the business of trading. His search for spirituality also began at a very early age. He yearned for adventure and would stand at the seashore thinking about far-off lands. And when the opportunity for him to travel to Madagascar to join his elder brother arose, he was courageous enough to take it on at the young age of 13. His ship was stranded at sea for 46 days, but somehow he and his fellow crew members managed to survive. He quotes in his book, "When a ship sinks or a house catches fire, or flood devastates a village, all distinctions of caste and creed crash before the unexpected calamities, and the milk of human kindness flows from the hearts of those whom power, self, and position have divided only a few moments before. It is in such times of stress and strain that man regains his original manhood, and all the instincts of his lower self vanish. He stands naked before God and his creation and realizes the essential unity of God and man. My tender and impressible heart received such vibrations of feelings, and I have come to realize that there is no distinction between man, and no one should be considered low because of birth or position. To think otherwise is a crime against God and a sin against humanity." This experience and his faith in God would be a distinct guiding force in the way he led his life. When they finally reached the island of Mayotte, he speaks about the welcome that they got, and he says, "At one end of our voyage, there was India, and at the other end, this French island. Both of them were hundreds of miles apart from each other, but the heart of man was full of love for his fellow men. A natural bond of affection would grow if power-mad politicians and money-making merchants did not spoil and vitiate the love of them, love which is the echo of God's love on this unhappy earth." When he finally reached Madagascar and started working with his brother, he quickly learned French and gradually mastered the art of pleasing customers and developed enormous powers by shouldering responsibilities which would have normally been considered too much for a boy of 14. Madagascar was soon stricken by the plague, and Pujya Bapuji had to help shift his fellow countrymen from plague-stricken areas and nurse patients when there was nobody to treat them. He did this without fear or fright and did not worry at all about the fast-spreading plague. And he says, "Whenever calamities or misfortunes fell to my lot, I faced them calmly, thought over their root cause, and tried to find remedies to solve them. Such events forged the steel in my heart and helped to build a strong inner force that would face any odds of troubles." Once he came back from his first trip from Africa, he says that, "I have remembered it and shall always do so with great pleasure. It offered me so much joy and so much pain that it made me aware of my own strengths and weaknesses, and I realized the greatness and glory of God. I have never enjoyed as much on other voyages as I did on this, which was full of lessons that will last my whole life." I will not go on to relate his stories and would encourage you to read his autobiography, but I do want to highlight some of the lessons that he learned on his journey of life, and which I think will be valuable lessons for the younger generation to think about and explore at this summit. When he visited Vashishta Ashram, the hermitage of sage Vashishta, he says, "I felt very thirsty. Deep down in the ravines, a streamlet wended its way and disappeared beneath the cluster of trees that stood by. But how was I to reach the water? I untied my turban and let one end fall towards the stream and kept the other with me. I wanted to soak it with water from the running stream so that I might squeeze it and quench my thirst. But it got entangled in the branches of a tree. I tried again. I tied a stone to one of the ends and let it go down, but it was of no avail. The only course left open was to tie one end to the branch of a nearby tree and get down with the help of the turban. I did so and quenched my thirst. I saw there is no blind alley in life, and that there is always a way out." Pujya Bapuji finally moved to Uganda. A gentleman by the name of Sheikh Ali Dinavisram, who had a big trading firm in Jinja, inspired Bapuji in many ways. And he quotes, "When I set my foot on the soil of Jinja, I heard numerous stories and anecdotes about his fame. He became my ideal as Uganda's captain of commerce and a man of charity. My youthful spirit sought inspiration from the legacy of fame and generosity that he left behind. To me, he was like a brilliant star that once shone with full brilliance in the heavens, but suddenly disappeared in the dark, leaving behind a dazzling trail. He initially worked under a gentleman by the name of Mr. Behram Khan, a Baluchi gentleman in a little town called Kamuli in Uganda, and then set up his own business. And he says, to transact business was a great joy to me. I willingly went to the jungles, sometimes for its own sake, and traded like a quiet, hard-hearted, astute merchant. This incessant occupation with work kept me free from trifles and a life of luxury. It taught me self-control even though I was young. I often had to walk 40 to 50 miles a day for my work, and yet I remember that there was never a day when I got tired. I can testify to the truth from my own experience that self-restraint is one of the most valuable assets for a young man who wants to achieve something unusual in any walk of life. Nothing great can be achieved without hard labor, self-restraint, and strength of character, is the advice which should not be forgotten by anyone who wants to succeed in life. He went on to establish the first sugar factory in Uganda and faced great difficulties in the initial years, but finally managed to turn the company around by 1933. He says, "It has been characteristic of my nature not to yield, but to fight to the last, even if success eludes me. I was never cowed down by the ups and downs of fortune or frustrated by the desertion of colleagues in times of stress or difficulties. My spirit rose up with double vigor and accepted the challenge of the situation with calmness and courage. Humbly but faithfully, I tried to find a way out of the impending crisis, and God helped me at the right moment. This has been my lifelong experience. In 1935, Pujya Bapuji traveled to South Africa and returned via what is Lourenço Marques, which is now Maputo in Mozambique, where he was given a hearty welcome and felicitated by the Indian community. He goes on to say, since then, from the year 1936, I decided not to accept any addresses of welcome or to have any personal honor. For it was one thing to treat a person affectionately for his services, and it was quite different to bathe him in fulsome ceremonial praises at public gatherings. All praise should go to God alone, who has given us powers and opportunities to serve. Praise does please a man at first, but later brings about his downfall through sheer pride and egoism. It was also around this time that he thought about establishing Arya Karnya Gurukul in Porbandar, as well as Gandhiji's Kirti Mandir. He had been deeply impressed by the tour to East Africa by the students of Arya Kanya Gurukul Baroda, in which his eldest daughter Savita Ben was studying, to East Africa, and which prompted him to also set up such an institution in Porbandar. In his later years, Gurukul became a holy field of daily pilgrimage. And he goes on to say, I am sure, so long as women stick to our mode of life and preserve our culture, 1,000 winds of change shall not affect the accumulated sanskaras of Indian nation, and a happy synthesis of the East and West will enliven our homes and enrich our society through these sweeter, softer, yet brave ambassadors of our culture. I was only 7 when Pujya Bapuji passed away. The most vivid image I have of him is of him sitting in Raiji Bagh in Junagadh, observing a Maun Rath for a whole month at times, and 9 days on numerous occasions, during which he would recite the Gayatri Mantra 125,000 times. I remember insisting on attending his funeral. I remember the huge line of people behind the motorcade that carried his body to the funeral pyre, all wanting to pay their respects to him on his last journey. The whole town had shut down, and I was extremely touched by the love and respect showered upon him by so many people from different walks of life, and this left a lasting impression on me. As he penned his autobiography, he writes, I penned these lines in Mussoorie and look at the snow-capped summits of Badri Kedar and think how life has changed. Those were the days of simple faith and social contentment that made man's life religious and peaceful. Today, as I cast my glance around, I find that the world is in the grip of materialism. It has robbed man of his serenity of mind and integrity of spirit. The individual who once cared for small material gains and felt contented has embarked on a vast scale of greed and violence in the air. Humanity stands on the edge of a volcano, and civilization is in danger of being destroyed. It is only the blood of martyrs and the wisdom of thinkers that can save it from destruction. To me, these words ring true, even 61 years on from when he wrote his autobiography. And as this seminar explores his life and work, I think it is important that we understand that it was eventually his spirituality, his faith in God, his curiosity, his sense of adventure, his resilience, his humbleness, his sense of equality, humanity, and charity, and his extreme hard work that made him the great man that he was. I would like to thank Dr. Nagar and the team of Gurukul for taking the initiative in hosting this international seminar on Pujya Bapuji. There are many lessons to be learned from his life, and as he says, in the 74th year of my life, as I look back upon this period, I am thrilled with the experiences of my adventurous life as well as by its earthly gains. But as I look back to the spiritual side of my life, I feel that though I have been after material things, I have not forgotten my Master. If life has given me so much, my faith in Him has blessed me with contentment. His worship and His name have been my true solace, and I still hope that in the remaining years of my life, I shall never forget Him and return the talents well used that He entrusted to me. Till then, my life will remain a dream half expressed. I wish you all the best for this seminar, and I sincerely hope that by the end of today, we can truly say that Pujya Bapuji's dream is one that has been fully expressed. Thank you.
We are really grateful to you, sir. You are actually the true grandson of Pujya Bapuji. You have reinterpreted the vision of Pujya Bapuji in real sense of the term. Sir, I would like to tell you that Gurukul institution is a unique institution. It's my alma mater. There are thousands of students who are alumni of Gurukul school and college. On behalf of all the alumni of the institution, I express my sense of gratitude to respected Bapuji and to each respected member of the Mehta family. Our pranams to your ancestors too. Now I would like to take an opportunity to welcome our distinguished guest, respected Somi. Please, Rohini Ba, please welcome our guest from Imphal, Manipur, Professor Rohini Ba. I request to welcome Somi Royji. And his son. Thank you so much.